Hey, it's Byron Morrison here. And today I'm joined by one of my private clients, Dan, who's a first-time tech CEO. We've been working together for the last few months as part of my Evolve program. And he said he'd hop on with me today to answer a few questions about his experience and why he wanted to work together. So, Dan, the first thing I'm really curious about is what made you take the step and really invest in us working together?
I've been thinking about working with a coach for a while now. A couple years ago, I was doing some consulting work for a friend who's uber successful, and he has a coach that he really enjoys working with. And I always thought I don't need someone to motivate me. I don't need a coach. I can do it all on my own. And I've already been successful. Why would I need this? But about 3 months ago, I kind of hit a breaking point where I felt that if I didn't have somebody not just pushing me, but helping me with strategy and organizing my time and getting more efficiency, I was just going to fail and fail miserably and let the team that I had built down and the people around me that I committed to that I was going to be uber successful and make this startup thing work, fail them as well. So Byron reached out to me at the his timing couldn't have been better, and I really liked his approach. I really liked his um, you know intellectual way of going through these problems. He's not a drill sergeant, although he's been great with accountability, and it just felt like the right fit. And I was still hesitant, the day I swiped the credit card, but since then I haven't looked back, and I've completely forgot about the money, and I'm more focused on the results, which have been fantastic so far.
Amazing. Yeah, it's been so
Yeah.
inspiring
So
to see
thanks,
your
Byron.
journey and transformation over the last few months. If you don't mind sharing, what have been some of the biggest changes for you? So I know, like you said, you wanted to come in and get your productivity up and your focus. What have been like the big results in your mind?
I was talking to a friend about this the other day who asked, "How's that coaching going?" And I shared a quick story about how when we first started, you made me do a survey that asked, all of these different questions, right? And one of the questions was something around, do you consider yourself in control of your emotions? And I think I rated myself as 7 or 8. And in my head, I'm thinking 9, but let's just put 7 because it looks better. Um, and then a month later, after you put me through the ringer, um, I you sent me another survey, but I didn't actually connect the two, and I didn't look back at the old survey. I just kind of, yeah, I'm busy, and I'll answer these questions, and I didn't realize that. I don't know if it was the same question. Knowing you, it probably wasn't. It was a sneaky workaround, but I rated something very similar a 3, and you called me out on it. And I realized it's because, if you ask most people that I work with or do business with, I'm very stable. I don't lose my temper. I'm organized. I'm on time. I'm responsible. People don't look at me and go, "Oh yeah, he's a disaster," right? But inside, I react to a lot of things, whether it's rejection or someone that just pisses me off, or a family member that I have an argument with. It uh, it can affect me. It can have a pretty dramatic impact on my productivity, and that's what I was realizing. And it can put you out. It's not just during the conversation or getting stuck on a bad chat. It's the hour or two after that where you feel sick to your stomach, or you feel scattered, and you're just not as productive. And you've explained to me that this is something that's completely within my control. And it doesn't mean that you can just control your emotions. Sometimes you have to control the interactions with people, right? There's some strategies that you've shared with me that I found extremely helpful, and we can go through them if it's productive. But that's, I'd say, the biggest progress that I've made. I'd give myself a 5 now. How about that?
Amazing. One thing I'm curious to hear your thoughts on is I know when we got started, one of your biggest concerns was time because you were trying to grow the startup. You had so much on your plate. You're working 14-hour days. And I remember us having a conversation where you were worried, do you actually have time to take more on? Can you fully commit to this? And is it just going to leave you more stretched thin? going back to that and thinking where you are right now, what are your kind of thoughts on the whole time agenda? Because I know this is a big thing for a lot of other CEOs debating taking on coaching and whether they can actually deal with it.
Yeah. So I'll try to keep this quick. In music, right? I'm a trained musician, and when you study something new with music, it could take months and months to digest that content. And so if you've had 3 months of great lessons with a great teacher, and you have all of this information, you can spend another year by yourself, just working through it. And I was worried that I already had so many things and tips and so much information, books that I needed to read, and time blocking strategies that I needed to implement. And working with you is just going to compound that, or just create one more list of things that I need to do right that I'm not doing now. But I realized that that you actually pushed me a little bit and just said, now's the time. It's not going to, 3 months from now, what's going to be different? And you were right. So we picked a time during the week that I just got up a little earlier. I found the time. And I've realized that throughout this process, by giving myself, time to recharge, that I wasn't, because I was just go, 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 or doing a better job organizing my schedule and doing the high energy things that I need during the high energy periods. And the things that don't take a lot of high energy, but I still need to be somewhat productive, I'm doing at times that we've identified. So organizing that and structuring my time more efficiently has freed up a lot more time, to work more and get more done, not necessarily to put my feet up yet, but so by working with you, I think I've been able to find more time that just wasn't there before. So.
Yeah, I remember when we had that conversation, one of the big things you said to me was, should I do this now or should I do this in 3 or 6 months when my schedule is more freed up? And I remember kind of pushing you on that and saying, if you put this into the future, when the business grows and you scale, your schedule is not going to loosen up. If anything, you're going to be more hectic. So by getting this under control now, that's really going to set you up for that growth. So even though it may seem like you didn't have the time, as you've seen, actually, it's been a complete turnaround and really getting on top of everything you need to do. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. One final question is, to anyone watching this right now who's thinking of joining the program or taking that step, what would you say to them?
I was just thinking about something that's I've noticed that staff that I'm working with, or partners that I have, and even friends and family, have commented and have said, you seem a lot more relaxed, or oh, this work that you're doing is amazing. And I've noticed more of that lately. And I didn't even notice it myself, but I've just had more times to do things at a higher level. And I feel like I'm being, less reactive and more proactive in every single thing that I'm doing. And that is the, I think, real win from working with you, Byron, and being more purposeful, right, in everything that I'm doing. So.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your thoughts and journey. And I'm so excited to see what's coming up for you in the next few months. So, yeah, thanks again.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks, man.